Hi, my name is Pat Ronan. I'm a research scientist at the Sioux Falls VA and associate professor with the USD School of Medicine in the departments of psychiatry and basic biomedical sciences, along with my colleagues and co-PI, Dr. Sam Sathianasan, Steve Powell, co-investigator Jason Peterson, our co-investigator Monica Sathianasan, one of our collaborators. We're pleased to present our feasibility study and what we are doing and plan on completing. We're focused on cognitive impairments that are induced by chemotherapy and testing a potential treatment as well as looking for some mechanisms. Let me see if I can zoom this in. So as most of you know, cognitive impairment associated with chemotherapy treatment is a major problem, and we have a novel compound that Dr. Sathianasan's group has been working with for a while that is showing clear cognitive enhancing benefits, and we are hopeful that it will work in, we're doing a preclinical animal model that will be able to quickly translate into clinical usage. Initially, though, the first thing we have to do is determine the safety of our molecule. And what it is a modified erythropoietin molecule. It's carbonylated, and this gives it much less angiogenic, in fact, none that we've seen, that the Anderson's group has seen, and relative just neurotropic sorts of action. So he's seen good antidepressant efficacy with this compound, and this is he's done some other screens with cognition as well. But the first thing that we have to do, since it's erythropoietin-like, is determine that it doesn't have the same erythropoietic effects on cancers and cancer cell lines. To do this, Dr. Steve Powell's group at Stanford, they're carrying out some cell proliferation assays comparing SIBO and erythropoietin in some assays to just ensure that we don't get proliferation of these tumor cell lines. If these go well, of course, we'll have numerous other screens, in vivo screens in the future, but this is an initial screen at least. A second theme of this study is to determine the effects of SIBO on cognitive deficits caused by chemotherapy. So we've got an animal model of chemotherapy that's relatively standard, quite a few of them in use, and pretty robust, easy to implement. We have a behavior core here at the Sioux Falls VA, and this is sort of standard there for us, pretty straightforward. So we're doing a model of using Adriamycin and cisplatin that has been working, and so far. We will test multiple different behavior models for cognition. Some of the background, if you come to the poster, I won't go into all the details, but we think that SIBO is not really binding the erythropoietin receptors in the same way, and as such is inducing a different signal transduction cascade than erythropoietin itself. And we have not seen significant angiogenesis, or you can see the hematocrit does not change with SIBO. Here's erythropoietin compared to SIBO in both males and females, and there's no change in vehicle. It also, Dr. Sathianasan's group has published this in 2018. SIBO improves performance in a model of cognitive deficits, namely social defeat. And we have two things after social defeat that we've done, two models of cognition, namely a T-maze and then spatial working memory. And in both situations, SIBO has had greatly beneficial effects. We are implementing this in our behavior core for now the novel object testing, which is based on the mouse's ability to remember new objects. They like new objects, and they'll interact with them more than objects they're familiar with. And you can play on this by getting them familiar with two objects and then putting a novel object in their environment. And if they remember the objects, they will see it as novel, and they will spend more time interacting with it. You can get a discrimination index, a fairly standard, robust test, and we have it running in the lab. We have applied for a supplement that we will continue this line of inquiry into cognitive effects by testing a more complete battery that looks at different cognitive domains, the force alternation test, Morse water maze, and radial arm maze, which we have all here at our Sioux Falls VA. So we are really in the heart of our work right now. In the summer, we've got all hands on deck working on all of the aims of this. I hope to get it completed in short order by the end of the summer here, and happy to speak to anyone about this. We're hoping that we can bring this, that we're successful, and we can do the further work that we need to actually bring this to a translational outcome. So thanks